So in this tutorial we're going to look at the different sales and marketing features that are available within the Relay 360 CRM system. So to begin with, we're going to look at the client's file, and we are going to start off by looking at the leads management system. Now we do have a separate video on the leads management system, so I'd ask you to refer to that for a full demonstration. But so in here I just want to give you just a quick demonstration of all the features. So the leads feature, if it's turned on, will be available if you right click on a policy and select lead details. So you can see here in this particular example we have a Mark Lee, and he has just purchased a private motor policy. So if we were being proactive, we should collect the home insurance renewal day. So assuming he has a house, we should be able to capture that. And if we're being very brave, we can capture a car insurance renewal date, maybe for a spouse or partner if one exists. So how do we do that? So if you right click, select lead details, and this opens the lead center. So this is basically where we can record the home renewal date. So let's say that Mark said, yeah, his house insurance is up for renewal in the start of June, and he's happy for us to give him a call. So just to show you how that works, so down the bottom here we would just give us a tick, and it opens it up. So basically what you do is you just basically fill in the relevant sections. Okay. Again, on the actual video in leads collection we'll go into a lot more detail, but just to show you how this works. So say cross sell, and the renewal date then is the 1st of June. If you know the current premium, you can put it in. If not, you can just leave it blank. Again, same, do you know who he's currently with? You could record that. And here you can assign it to yourself or another agent in the company. So you may know that, well, I'm not going to be here in the first 2 weeks in June, I'll be on holidays. So you could actually reassign it to somebody else. You could put comments in, and also a policy number for more so for the life side of things if you already had one. That's it. Click save, and the prospect is then recorded. So what happens is then later on, if you go into file and into leads, then you'll see both an operator view and a management view. So for operators, if they just click in here, they'll actually see all of the leads that they have recorded in the system. So you can see here down the bottom, there's the one I just put in for Lee, and it's the 1st of June 2017. So the idea is that kind of mid-month, every month, you should run off a cross-sell renewal list for the forthcoming month. So again, just in terms of picking this one up in June, so if I just ran that for the 1st of June until the end of June, and click apply, then you can see here there's the lead that I just put in for Mark. So the idea is you can record all your leads, and then kind of every month in the middle of the month run off your list for the following month. And then you can basically go in and you can update the lead as well. So after you've called Mark at the relevant time, you can click this edit button and actually be able to fill in more details. So you can change the actual status, to live if he actually does go ahead and purchase the policy. So you can update your leads as you go along, and then click save. So the leads collection is a really good feature, and again also for management, if you went back into leads and management view, you can actually see all of the leads that are in your system for all agents, and you have the ability in there to actually reassign leads to other staff. You can actually use the diary system in conjunction with the leads feature if you want. So if you don't trust yourself to run off the list in time every month, you could actually raise a diary. So Mark just said to me there, well, he's up in the 1st of June for his house insurance. So I could also use the diary system to remind me to call him. So if I go into the diary and click on new, and it's asking me here, do I want to assign the diary to the client or a policy or so on? In this case, I actually would use client because I don't have a policy yet. There is no home policy unless I have actually already quoted him, which I haven't done here. Normal diary is fine, and then the action date. So basically says, when do you want to call him? So he's up in the 1st of June. If I was being smart, I'd probably give him a call the 1st of May. So I want to get in there well in advance of his renewal and see if I can give him a quote and win the business. So I certainly wouldn't be calling him back on the 1st of June. That's too late. In the reference tab here, you can put in a little note. So for house insurance. So just basically put in a note about why you're calling him, etc. So he's just bought the motor insurance office, chances are the renewal date will be more accurate for house insurance if they give you a cross-sell lead. So always ask for cross-sell leads after a customer buys a policy off you, because it's more likely to be quite accurate. Press OK, and that diary is now raised in Mark's file. So again, on the relevant time, this will turn up in my user diary. So file, user diary, and I'll actually see that in there when the relevant time comes. So I can call them and update it and close it off or whatever I'm doing. So let's move on now and have a look at the SMS feature that's available within Relay 360. So it's possible to send SMS text messages through the Relay system to your customers about various things. So again, we're looking at kind of sales perspective. So I might want to send a text message here to Mark about a promotion we have on, or a discount that we have on, say again on the house insurance. So how do we do that? So you would need to set up an account with one of our providers. So for example, Oxygenate would be a provider that is integrated with Relay 360. So you just need to contact Oxygenate and set up an account and purchase credits. So once you have an account set up, once we have your username and password, we can activate this feature in Relay 360. So it is a free feature through Relay, but you do have to purchase credits. So how does it work? It works very similar in the way to the letters. So if you use Relay 360 to generate letters, it's very similar. So again, I'm in Mark's file. He has private motor insurance. I want to send him a text to say, listen, we have a 20% discount on house insurance at the moment. Give us a call. So how do we do that? So if I just go into letters, so you should see a number of folders here. So assuming this has all been set up correctly, you should have a folder here called SMS. And in this folder, basically, you can set up a variety of templates. They can be whatever you want them to be. So again, just in my demo system here, I have documents outstanding, please get in touch, a product promotion, and renewal chase. So again, just as an example here, I'll just pick renewal chase just to show you how this works. So again, I'll associate at a policy level, and on the action list, when I click on the drop down, you should see these two new options. So you won't see them at the moment unless SMS is activated. So I'm just going to click edit and send document using SMS and press OK. And yes. So you can see the a box opens up, the SMS message box opens up, so you can actually see the message that's going to be included. So that's it. Message is included, click send, and the text message will actually be sent to the client. So once the text message goes through, it's actually recorded in the Documents tab of the client's file. So you can actually see it here, Renewal Chase, just the one that I used there. So it's recorded. Now, just in relation to the SMS feature, you can only send text messages to one client at a time currently in Relay 360. So unfortunately, you can't send them in bulk through Relay. It may well be possible through your direct Oxygenate account, but just through Relay, you have to send them one at a time. So just moving on now. So another feature that we have available within Relay 360 is a feature called Auto Quote. Now, this is a chargeable feature. It wouldn't come as standard with the system, so it is a chargeable feature. Just contact customer support and they'll be able to give you a quote on same. So Auto Quote is a new Relay 360 feature, and it's designed to complement your existing private motor renewal process. So what it allows you to do is produce a batch of letters for multiple clients showing what this year's motor premium could be based on the risk details that you currently have saved. So the idea is it allows you to target all the customers that you quoted last year but were not able to convert to a sale. So because the premium wasn't competitive last year. So, you know, we're 12 months on, the market has changed. You might have some additional schemes to offer. You might have additional discounts. So essentially what this allows you to do is generate letters to all policies that say have a temporary status, and it'll actually generate a quote based on the risk details that you have saved. So that is important now, and that would be on the auto quote letter. So it would be in bold to state that the premium that is on the actual letter is based on last year's risk details. So traditionally brokers, they might call, text, email or mail shot their leads to sell their services when they know a motor policy is due for renewal, but feedback from brokers has indicated that they get a higher response rate to these campaigns when they actually provide the client with a premium, and that's what Auto Quote does. It allows you to actually include a premium. So currently the feature allows you to quote for last year's prospects just for private motor policies at the moment. And the feature is restricted to quoting for any policies which are flagged as temporary, lapsed and cancelled quotes, since live quotes will be picked up as part of the renewal process. Quotes provided will be based on the existing data stored for the risk, but the feature will guesstimate what the current no claims discount will be, assuming no claims have been made since the data was captured. So if you would be interested in auto quote, then just give our customer service team a call, and we can give you a quote for it. As I said, it's a very useful feature because it allows you to quote for last year's quotes and get them a new price and send them out in the post. Also, you can also drag and drop these letters into emails and then send them off to each individual client. So you can do them individually by email if you want as well. Just the screen in front of you is just the auto quote setup screen, so you can basically pick your dates. So again, you would pick maybe the last 12 months and these statuses, so cancelled, lapsed and temporary. Again, your cancelled policies are customers that left you. Lapsed would be you would transfer them to another insurer, so you may not want to target them, but you would certainly want to target the temporary ones because they indicate they're a quote. You can see here that you can actually add on a fee, so to your letter. So not only will it work out a premium, but it will include whatever fee you have actually added in there. And then once you click filter, the results will come up. So it'll basically give you all clients that meet the criteria above, so those statuses with those dates. And then it gives you a chance to select your printer, select them all, and then print them all. The next thing we're going to do now is look at the reports that you can use in Relay 360 to help you generate extra business. So if we go into reports and management and new business analysis is the first one we're going to look at. Now, just to clarify, this is assuming that you're currently using or you're on Profit 360 accounts. So Profit 360 accounts, you need to be on that system in order to use these particular reports. So just start off by clicking on new business analysis. So the new business analysis report basically allows you to see all policies that have gone on cover in X amount of time, but it also includes all temporary quotes as well. So it allows you, so in any given month you can see all the policies that were made live, but crucially you can see all the quotes that you did and allow your customers or your agents to actually chase them up. So if I just give you an example here. So we're just going to run a report for the period of January. So I want to see all quotes that we did in January and also just to see what new business we did. And I can also work out conversions here. So if I just click posted date and just run it by from the 1st to the end of January. Again, you can be specific here when you're running this report. You can run it by insurer, policy, department, etc. Or you just basically run it for everything. So click export and Excel and OK. And basically what will happen is here, the system, if you click on policy details, it'll give you all the policies. And if I just scroll across to the right here, so you can actually see, if I put a filter on it, there's a column here. So status. If you click on it, you'll see new business and blanks. So essentially, if you want to see all the policies that went on cover during that period of time, just click on unclick blanks and press OK, and there's all the policies that went on cover. If you want to see all your quotes, press OK, and it'll say here transaction not taken up. Okay, so what that allows you to do then is actually chase these up. So again, you know, at the end of each month or mid-month, whenever you think is the right time to do it, is basically generate this list and give them back to the agent who created them. So the agent's reference number is on this, and you can basically div them up and get them back to the agent and say, listen, put another call in here to see if you can close these sales. In addition to obviously chasing up quotes, what you can do is work out conversion. So you can work out conversion as a whole for any particular department, or you can actually work out conversion for a particular agent. Okay, so you'll be able to select their reference. So you can see here in We have, depends what handler level you want to do. So we do have client and policy and premium handler. So assuming it's policy handler, you can actually just select policy handler, select an agent's name, press OK, and then you would have a list of all the businesses or the policies they put on cover, but also their quotes. So it allows you to work out their conversion for that particular period of time. So that's the new business analysis report, and again, it's found in reports and management and new business analysis. So another good report to generate is a win-back report. So win-back report. So how do we do that? So if we go into reports and client and go into renewal list, okay. So this allows us, this is a kind of a policy level report. So it allows us to target policies that have particular statuses during a particular period of time. So if I wanted to run a win-back report, say for private motor for last year, so this particular month last year, how would I do it? So the first thing I do here is just pick the date range. So I basically want to target clients from last year who didn't renew, okay, or they left us at the renewal period. So if we just change the dates here to the first 16, okay, and just run it to the end of that particular month. Okay, so it's from the 1st of February to the end of February last year, 2016. I want to target private motor policies. Okay, so again, I could target everything if I wanted to, but just for this example, I'm just picking M1. So I ticked policy type and I just selected M1 for private motor. So in relation to the policy status, if we just basically tick policy status, and what I want to do is I want to basically select lapsed and cancelled statuses. So I'm not selecting lapse for transfer because that indicates we've transferred the business from one insurer to another. So I don't want that one, but I want cancelled, cancellation pending, and I also want lapsed. So in order to highlight both of those, if you just hold down your control key and select lapsed, then you'll also have lapsed selected as well as cancelled. So just use your control key to select the ones that you want. So my date range is the 1st of Feb to the end of Feb last year. It's private motor, and I'm targeting lapsed and cancelled policies. So now I can click on export and then pull it into a spreadsheet. So now I have a list that's generated and includes all the clients who would meet that criteria. So you can see here's the renewal dates that meet the criteria. And again, if I just scroll across to the right, then you can see the statuses L and C for lapsed and cancelled. So you could basically print out that report, give it to your staff, and ask them to make contact with these customers and try and win back the business. So that's a win back report in Relay 360. So another kind of cross-sell report that you can generate in Relay 360 is an active client list. If we go into reports and clients and go to active client list. So not only will this list obviously show you customers who are active based on meeting certain criteria, i.e. they have a live statuses and the renewal date is either today or onwards or a date in the future. So that's how that works. But also, if you actually look in the middle here of this particular screen, you can actually select to run this by customers who meet certain criteria. So I'm selecting here M1, and then I'm also selecting policy types not contained, and I'm selecting H1. So what's happening here is the system will actually generate the report for me that says to you, these are all the customers who have private motor but they don't have home. So again, it allows you to target those customers. So again, if you have junior staff members or who could possibly just get on the phones and just ring these customers and capture home renewal dates, and they can record them in the system using the lead management feature that we looked at the start of the video. So again, I have it on active client list, and that's it. Click export. And again, we can run it in Excel, and it brings me up everybody who meets that criteria. So all of these customers, they all will meet that criteria. And again, I've got 95 just in my demo system, but obviously using a live one, you're going to have a lot more. So this is a good opportunity to cross-sell and try and get their house business in that particular example. Just staying on reports, but moving over to the insurer side of things, another really good report that we have in Profit 360 is the company business analysis. So it's in reports, company, and company business analysis. And what this basically allows you to do is it allows you to see how much business you're putting with every particular insurer that you have. So you can decide to run this for any particular period of time you want. I mean, probably the best thing to do is run it on a yearly basis to really get a full picture of where your business is going. But I might just run this from the 1st of January to today's date, and I'm going to select it on by Post-it, and then if I just click on Preview, what happens is the system will generate a report for me. I'll just scroll over. So you can actually see here, so this is a company business analysis report, and it'll list the insurers one after the other in alphabetical order. Now it gives you some key details in terms of the gross premiums for each particular product, commissions and fees. So you can see maybe Allianz is a better example here. So Allianz, these are the different types of products that we've sold through with Allianz, the total premiums, commissions and fees. But crucially on this report, you can actually see a percentage. So if I see here at year to date, percentage of total premium is 2.51% for ACR, but it's 34.09% for Allianz. So this is a great report for you to use if you're having a sit down with the insurers and reviewing your commission rates, because you can actually show them clearly a report which shows how much premium you're putting their way, and also the percentage of your business that you're actually giving them. So again, in this particular example, Allianz is getting a lot of our business. So again, you might be able to negotiate a better commission rate off the back of it, or at least some additional discounts. So that's the company business analysis report. So in this short video, we just want to look at the marketing features that are available within Relay 360, and also have a quick look at the data protection checklists which are available within a client's file. So as far as marketing is concerned, a lot of clients would ask us, how do we record where a client came from, and also how can we run a report to give us that information. So let's just have a look at that. So at marketing, for marketing levels, there is two. There is client level, and then there's policy level for motor. So at client level, if you actually just go into a client's file and select details and extra, you'll see there's a field here. Now it might currently be called analysis. Now you can leave it on analysis if you want, or we can actually change the name to something a bit more obvious. But sometimes analysis is good enough. And in here you'll see a selection of options. Now you have access to this through the maintenance tab here, which I'll show you in a moment, and you can basically put in a variety of marketing sources or lead sources, whatever you want. And then the idea is the agent, once they've created the client file, they should record where the customer came from or how they came to be. So they select the correct marketing source and select OK, and that's basically it recorded. If you want to alter the list, if you just go into maintenance and analysis types, and yes, you can basically access the list, and by clicking add, you can add in more options. Okay, so again, I was just adding in another one, just making this up. And add, and that's now part of your list. So that's basically how you access the analysis type and make changes to it. To get that information out into a report, if you just go into reports and clients and active client list. Now again, if you only want to see the marketing sources of people who have actually purchased a policy, who are actually live, then leave it on active clients. But if you also want to include people who you just quoted for during a certain period of time, then leave it on all clients. So I'm just going to leave it on active clients, and then I'm just going to select the date range. So I'm going to say everything from today onwards. Okay, so just basically it'll pick up all new business policies that you would have put into the system. So that's why I'm picking the date range. Click export, and okay. And that'll basically generate a report. So there's our client here at the moment, Joe Langan. So there's Joe, and if I scroll across to the right, I can see there his analysis type of radio ad. Alright, so what we can do there is then we can put a filter on the spreadsheet and work out, where's our clients coming from. So what is the top 3 analysis types that are coming up in the report. So that's useful information, but of course it does rely on the agents actually tagging it. So they need to go into details, they need to click extra, and they need to select the right one. So again, it's up to yourselves. You need to kind of just police that and make sure they're doing it so that you can get good MI out of it. Secondary then, what happens is when you actually generate a motor quote in Relay, so if I click on the motor button here, you'll see here it says, how do you hear about us? So I'm not sure if you use that at the moment, but what happens is you can tailor this list just like you can the analysis types. And so as you do a motor quote, you can tell the system where it actually came from and record it. To access a report on same, if you go into reports and miscellaneous and marketing response, and basically you'll see those options. So you can leave it on everything. You can leave it on quote range, or again inception date, whichever way you kind of want to run it. And again, I can say I want to see the totals only, so the total numbers of these options only, or if I click breakdown, I can actually see the clients themselves. Press OK, and there we go again, there's Joe, and if I can see here right there in column B, it says web. All right. So at the moment, we can only log a marketing source for private motor business. We don't have that option for home or van currently. So marketing, the marketing sources, we only have options at client level and at private motor level currently. So to summarize again, client level, go into details and extra and tag the analysis type. And then for private motor, when you're creating the quote, when you click on motor, you'll see the option where did you hear about us. The two reports that I ran were reports, client, and active client list. So this would actually give me a list of all customers and either live customers or everybody. And then if I run it by a particular date range, I can access the marketing source and the spreadsheet. So always pull it into a spreadsheet. And then for the private motor marketing responses, just go into miscellaneous and marketing response, and you can run it there. Okay, so it is good information. It's nice information to have for MI, and yeah, so just make sure your staff are aware of those two options. Just finally here, sometimes clients miss this section here. It's called data protection. So they actually want to know, do we have permission to contact the customer? Do we have permission to use their personal details for marketing purposes and so on and so forth? So yeah, if you go into a client's file in Relay and click data protection, this little box opens. And again, it says use of personal data for marketing. So if we have permission, tick it, and sharing of personal data with third parties. Again, if we have ticket, if not, untick it. Here is basically how you can contact them. So this is based on their contact details on the client screen. So again, if we can contact them by letter and by mobile phone, you can just tick. So again, it's just for record purposes. And again, it's just here in data protection. Sometimes customers miss this. Press OK, and that'll save it. So that concludes the short video on marketing and data protection in Relay.